we'd first like to remind you of your true identity, independent of this form, this mind, this body, this personality, which is this spirit, this soul, this light being that you are, this pure consciousness, this pure awareness, this emanation of source energy. This is your true identity. And so in this moment, if you can begin to focus on that aspect of yourself by asking yourself this question: who was I before I was born into this body? And as you breathe into that question, feel the freedom that you are in your purest expression. And so we've been looking forward to this interaction, and we appreciate your participation with this interaction. And so we'll begin at the very beginning in terms of linear time, which is that if you go back in time, back before you incarnated into this form, we'd first like to remind you of your true identity, independent of this form, this mind, this body, this personality, which is this spirit, this soul, this light being that you are, this pure consciousness, this pure awareness, this emanation of source energy, this divine creation. This is your true identity. And so in this moment, if you can begin to focus on that aspect of yourself, and you could amplify the sensation of that by asking yourself this question: who was I, or what was I before I was born into this body? And so in this moment, if it feels right to you, close the physical eyes and just softly ask yourself that question: who was I before I was born? And as you breathe into that question, and as the answer starts to be broadcast through as a feeling or as a sensation, you'll notice that who you are is this vast field of energy or vast consciousness, this awareness. It's difficult to sense a boundary in the same way that you do with your physicality. And so just for a moment or two, feel that sensation or feel that awareness of what it's like to be limitless, free, unbound. Feel the freedom that you are in your purest expression. Feel that for just a moment before we get into the rest of the talk on this day. And notice that each and every time you breathe, you can sort of expand this sensation. Each and every time you inhale, you can feel a greater awareness of your true identity as pure consciousness. And so once you have a sensation of that, even if it's just a small glimpse of it, just notice and even start to memorize what that feels like in your energy body. What does it feel like when I am expansive, when I'm connected to my true self and I can sense this vastness that I am? What does that feel like in my body, in my energy body, in my system? And now the reason this is so important is because now as we bring you forward in time to remind you of the sensations that you experienced as you incarnated into this form, even if you have to use your imagination to experience this, notice that as you made your way into this reality and into this physical form, that you began to experience a sort of limitation on that vastness. And so there's a lowering of frequency as you enter into this dimension of reality. And there's also this feeling tone of constraint, of limitation. And so that pure sensation of freedom and limitlessness becomes constrained by this reality and also by the physical form. Now, nothing has gone wrong in that experience, even though as you do experience, you may notice that it feels uncomfortable to you. For many, if not most of you, it feels more comfortable to be free and expansive and vast and be tapped in to that aspect of who you are. But as you incarnate into the physical, you experience this sort of condensation, this limitation of your vastness. And so part of that limitation is due to the physical nature and the physical limitations of this construct, which we're here to remind you, you knew what you were getting into when you incarnated into this form. You knew you would experience constraint. But part of the reason you wanted to experience it is that once you have experienced that constraint, you have a better idea and a greater realization of who it is you truly are as this vastness, this limitless being. And so as we always say, nothing has gone wrong. Even in the moments in your life when you're uncomfortable, when you are stressed, overwhelmed, feeling chaotic, or feeling unable to manage what's unfolding in your physical reality, nothing has gone wrong in those moments. But the answer or the key to finding relief in those moments and to finding relief in this reality where there are limitations is to once again tune back into your true identity as this vast energy. Because even while you are in the physical body and you are subject to the constraints or the limitations of that, you still can remember who it is you truly are. And in your remembering, you experience that vastness, that freedom, that infinite nature, that limitlessness. And so notice as you focus in on those qualities of your true identity, and as you take your attention off anything that's overwhelming or stressful or chaotic, that those sensations of limitation that have to do with the stress that you're experiencing begin to subside because you are once again connected in with who it is you truly are. So that is the work. It's remembering who it is you truly are and then taking moments in time where you tune yourself to that frequency, because that is a vibrational frequency of your true self. You tune yourself in your remembering, you tune yourself to be in connection, in alignment, in harmony with that higher self. And then because you have shifted out of the density, then those problems, those difficulties, those stresses begin to, number one, they don't hold so much space in your mind, for one. You're not ruminating on those stressful situations because you have found relief in this connection with your true identity. You're tapped back into your vastness, your limitlessness. Now, the mind will play tricks on you and say, well, that's not the answer, right? Because my problem is still there or my challenge is still there. But we would say, well, it is actually the answer, because as you shift yourself up into a higher frequency, all of those problems and situations and challenges that were created from that lower frequency, they cannot maintain that physicality in your reality. They have to shift. They have to shift. Now, it's not that you won't be led to taking action in terms of finding solutions and bringing harmony to whatever is on your mind in terms of a problem or a stressful situation. It's just that those inspired ideas or those inspired plans of action cannot come to you when you are in the lower frequency that is stress or chaos or density or limitation.